Hi Don, how are you?
Oh, I'm good, Dasha. How are you doing?
Doing good. Guys, hello everyone. I'm Dasha Jamison with Red Rock Pastel Society of Nevada, and today I'm with Dawn Emerson, our senior juror for our online exhibition, our 2022 Red Rock Juried web show. And Dawn helped us to curate this beautiful show. And today we want to take a moment and walk through the gallery once again and stop with several pieces. And Dawn will walk us through and say what she has to say about them. Thank you for doing that and for all
Oh,
your
you're
time.
welcome. Right. So we have quite a few to share with you, and here, let me get my glasses on.
Well, very cool.
These clickets are great, but okay, there we go. All right.
Hey.
Okay.
And I put them together. So
Perfect.
like you have 18 pieces what you want to talk about. So
You
guys,
know, what I wanted, I chose this many because I just wanted to show such a great variety. And, not all of these won awards, of course, but just the variety of levels and the just the variation that's developing, emerging from all of the classes that Red Rock has been having with Tony Allain and many other instructors has been wonderful. And so it's a great opportunity to take a look at some of these and just speak about, you know, uh, what a judge looks for, what I, as a, instead of a judge, but a juror for the pieces, what it is that I'm struck by. So if you did not win, maybe this will be helpful, or just give you some advice about when you do submit work, what a curator is looking for. Okay,
I
so
love this word curator. Yes, we will start. And before we start, little commercial break. We
okay,
just actually finished our catalog. Our winner is on a cover. It's A Sky by Anna Kalugina, and it's available today on Blurb. I just took a screenshot, didn't have a chance even to share it anywhere. So guys, if you're watching this video, you are the first to know about our catalog. And here we are, first things first, Adrian Giuliani, Breakthrough Boundaries.
okay. And before I begin, I'll just let you know that I was not privy to knowing who the artists are, and so I just judge by the collection that I see presented in front of me, and chose one of them to talk about. So, as a kind of self-portrait, the mirror surrounded by the blue and just an unusual composition, really, and the use of marks and the overall sense of just something a little bit unusual, something a little off balance, and it caught my eye because just the arrangement and the idea of uh, you know, okay, this is a different take on what a self-portrait could be. Let's go to the next one.
Thank you so much, Don, and congratulations, Adrian. Always happy to see your work, and thank you for supporting our projects.
This one struck me as obviously I see a lot of trees and the landscape with a path going through it and the ocean. However, it was the grouping in the negative spaces that really appealed to me. It's a very limited palette in a way, just three main colors. Is that a bank of fog in the background? Is it just one big cloud? But it's this grouping of trees that has a magical quality. So beyond just it's more of a portrait of trees rather than simply rendering the landscape. It seems to evoke something mysterious, which is intriguing. Next.
Thank you so much. Congratulations, Deborah. Christine DEBROSKY, Deep Crimson Gown.
And, this is just a lovely take on how to blur the edges and to use color very effectively and, again, mysteriously. So everything except those line marks are they are out of focus. And it creates this interesting palette, and also nothing is distinctive, but you are drawn to figure out, what is this? And our eye keeps circling around through the color. So this one I chose to talk about just because it is an unusual approach to working with edges and focus and use of color. So very lovely.
Congratulations, Christine, and thank you, Dawn, for your comments.
Sure.
Tatsiana Harbacheuskaya, Orchid on Turquoise Tablecloth.
Yeah, I love the simplicity of this piece. I like the use of marks. I like the use of limited palette and color. And it's strong, but it's flowers, and sculpted rather than rendered in great detail. And just that sort of lovely attention to design that I wanted to point out here. And in the bottom right corner, it's unusual to have a triangle that actually works. And it really is quite lovely. So just because it is just so different, and I also get to see a lot of florals. So when I see something unique and different, and it's something about the light in here too, but it just makes you take another look at what a still life could be.
Brilliantly say, and congratulations, Tatsiana, once again. Thank you, Dawn.
Sure. Okay, next. This one has a lot in common with the one that we just saw. You notice limited palette again, and the use of those very strong marks that is Tony's hallmark signature, and beautiful look, use of just line, design, shape, color, edges, texture, the whole bit. Tony is a master. And this is just a beautiful example of that, taking a still life again and turning it into something absolutely gorgeous. Next.
Thank you so much. Yes, those pieces make me want to look at them more when you talk about them. So you look at them differently. Terrilynn Dubreuil, Stalwart Glow.
Okay, this one really features texture in a different way. It's, again, a portrait of a tree. However, it has this emotional quality to it, like it could be, again, a portrait of a tree. It's sort of telling a story, like, why is it missing those branches? It's not your typical treescape. Is that snow, but the bits of yellow down in the bottom are just lovely. And once again, this limited palette, less is more, and the use of texture through probably the application of the medium and pumice underneath, the brushwork that is there, and how it's integrated into the shapes and feeling of the story. So the form and the function is together, unified, and that's what makes this a strong painting.
Congratulations, Terrilynn. Thank you, Dawn. Janis Barrett, touching me, touching you.
Not only do I love the title of this, and but just we all know this this beautiful, intimate thing with the dog food. And it is an unusual take on not hands this time, right? Not human hands, but dog paws. And you can feel the touch in here, and it is just lovely. Once again, it's a very limited palette, so it's not about the color, but the restricted use of the color that is making this so strong, and the way the toes line up, and attention to the mood, I think, is what I really love about this painting.
Thank you so much, Dawn. Congratulations, Janis, once again. Thank you for supporting our exhibitions. Jory Mason, looking up.
Yeah, Jory, such a lovely, free feeling, you know, a combination. Again, it's very unified. Color is working here beautifully. It's off center in the focal point, the use of sort of the blurred texture in the background of the palm leaves, and the then just the stronger, sharper, hard line and hard edge in the foreground. Beautiful use of color. Not that much color really, but you know, it just feels okay. We're below the tree, looking up, just marveling at these shapes and forms, and she's conveying a beautiful sense of energy about these through the texture, and just very lovely work.
Very lovely, unusual angle. Thank you so much, Dawn. Congratulations, Jory. Ronnie Gold, tumbling down.
Yeah, this feels, you know, you could look at this, it's like looking at water, but it could be many different things. And it just feels, I think it's the feeling in here, the sense of movement through the color, the use of different kinds of marks. And it's like when you look at water and part of, like a waterfall in a way, different parts of it, depending on what place in the waterfall you're looking at, it looks like it's moving at different times. So right in the center, it's very still. And then there is very soft movement coming toward the center. It flattens out, and then it just sort of goes into something else that we don't really know, but your eye keeps moving around trying to figure it out. What is this? What is this? But it's a pleasing mystery, and we can enjoy the color and the variation in textures as we watch what's happening here and try and figure it out. So it's abstraction, feels like water, could be many other things, and that's part of the joy of looking at it.
Great comments, Dawn. Thank you so much. Congratulations, Ronnie. Beautiful piece. Delighted to have you in this show and our society.
Okay, Walk in the Rain. I listened to Vanessa going over this one too, and I also feel that this is just a beautiful piece. I think the use of gray in here and design and very deliberate strokes and use of color. There were so many factors that made me love this piece. I think Vanessa said something about it feeling like you're walking in the rain. You know exactly where you are as the observer, as the viewer of this. You're in the painting, you can feel the wet, you can almost feel getting wet with your feet in the puddles. And so there are lots of things here to comment about, but I would say all in all, to look at the way the grays are embedded and working within the colors. Where she has more pure color, there's still quite a bit of gray in it, but it's the absence it's the grayness that and the neutrality of some of these colors that make its the light areas just shine within this. So when we head down the road, we're going to that neutral green in the background that stops us, but then we get to look at everything else, and it just has this beautiful watery, very wet feeling that is beautifully done.
Thank you, Dawn. And this piece you selected to be your juror's choice. Yes. Also. So for all those reasons, it's just stood above for you. So
yeah. Yeah, I mean, it's not the subject. That's the thing. You know, it's really not the subject here. It is the way the subject is handled. And I think more than anything, that's the idea here, is that it's a portrait of a rainy day, you know, and it has the shapes, the edges, all of it working together very, very beautifully. So congratulations.
Congratulations, Andrew. Thank you for supporting our shows. And yesterday we were unpacking paintings for the Red Show, what's coming up in Las Vegas. And I had a chance to see Andrew's work in person. I had seen, but it was a long time ago since last time I seen his piece, and it's just amazing. So just want to throw it out there.
Great.
Here's the next piece.
Corey, Corey, we know, is a wonderful painter of figures. And I love this one. Again, it's very neutral in color. And being surrounded by those neutral colors and broken shapes and areas of tone, it just, once again, has this sense of mystery of the image appearing and then almost disappearing. And so it's a portrait of a figure, a beautiful nude, limited palette, almost a double image. You can kind of see two faces here, two bodies, but one is fractured, one is very lovely. The complement of the green coming through with that sepia sort of grayed magenta color, just perfectly matched in value, so that around the edges, there's no hard line. There is simply space and form and shadow and light, the ultimate simple tones that describe and give the entire story and the mood to this nude. So beautifully done, Corey.
Congratulations, Corey. Thank you, Dawn. And once again, thank you to all the artists who support our shows.
Okay.
Yael.
Yeah, Yael Maimon. I've seen many of hers, and I love her cats. And we all know the cats. She is passionate about them, and the passion comes through the unusual placement of the cat, not showing the face. It's just a matter of color, shape, design. That's what it is, and it tells an incredible story of light and shadow and shape and design. And it's just beautifully, beautifully done. I'll point out that it's an exquisite study in complements. So the red with the green, the red taillight, and the red slash in the background with the green highlight behind the cat's back. And then, you know, the other grayed areas of red or magenta and green. Again, those are just working together, surrounded by the darkness, highlighting just the few touches of the edges of the fur on the cat. So congratulations, Yael. Beautiful done. Painting.
Congratulations. Thank you for supporting our shows. Always delighted to see your work. Thank you, Dawn, for your kind words too. Kahne Smith, Mangrove Melody.
Yeah, this was a lovely take on the mangrove. What this struck me as though was a study in balance. You know, all of the roots of the mangrove go down. You know, they just thrive trying to find the water, and they just send those shoots down. But then that uplifting branch on the left balances all that stuff on the right. And so it's quite elegant in its form of balance and pretty limited use of color, beautiful color, the blues and greens, very cool. And yet throughout the bottom third of the painting, we have that exquisite, you know, blue and green kind of scintillating marriage of those colors that's just elegant. So you feel the weight of the roots hanging down, but then the lift of the branch going up to the left. So that's what I mean by the balance. It feels very lovely.
Fantastic piece. Thank you, Kahne. Thank you, Dawn. And to the next.
Okay, Vivian Truby, red and white scuba diving shed. Again, what struck me about this is that it's very flat in terms of really pretty much the light. You know exactly where the light is coming from. There's not much form to be defined here in terms of various planes, but we know where the light is because of the shadows being cast on this flat wall. But it's that diagonal very brave depiction of that stripe on a building. And I say brave because I think it takes guts to do a painting like this. And I think it is a different take on the image of, you know where this is. You can sense where it is. It's pretty much red, white, and blue with a little bit of yellow, tiny bit of green. There's not that much in it, but what is there is very abstracted shapes that balance each other in the form of the design. So very nice work, Vivian.
Congratulations, thank you. And to the next.
Okay, Irina Klimova, and I don't want to.
It's Vernikovskaya embarkment, yes.
Okay, yeah, I think, this is, this looks like a classical piece of, a rainy, kind of dreary day. It reminds me of some of the paintings that I saw in the museum in Moscow when I was there a few years ago. And it just had that sense of time and place that captures exactly, what it feels like to be there on a dark and very sort of ominous kind of day. And the smoke in the background has its own sense of movement, which is quite lovely. And she carried that through, that very soft, foggy edges of the smoke going off to the right. And then we have the river carrying these beautiful reflections toward the front. So within it, there's a lovely city of sense of vastness and cityness, which is, I think, pretty hard to capture. So congratulations, Irina. It's very lovely.
Congratulations. And I was almost like, while I was creating this presentation, trying to go through my photos, like, do I know that exact bridge where she was standing to take a reference? It's like so much taking you there. Thank you, Dawn. Thank you, Irina. And to the next, Patricia Wilt. By the way, it's our Juror's Choice Award, Creative Tears and Spheres.
Ah, great. Yeah, I just love it's funny in a way to see she's put together this very lovely boxed still life. And the commonality that we find here is that everything is round, everything is sort of reflective, the marbles look like the onions. And, it's just something that you can look at and smile, because I've never thought of marbles being like onions. But then when you see them, it unifies itself through the color, the choice of colors that she used. And just those spots of highlights and the overall design of it, the way she's grouping those circles are very, very well done and not at all easy to do. The sense of space gets deeper as you continue to look at it. So what at first appears very realistic can morph as you're looking at it into something, oh yeah, just look at the circles here, and then you can feel the form and the space gets deeper and deeper. So I think Creative Tears and Spheres, I hadn't even really looked at the titles. I try not to when I'm looking and jurying these, because I want to not project a story that may not be what the artist had in mind, but it is thought-provoking now that I'm seeing the title and wondering, oh yeah, what is the story here? So it's intriguing, very, very nicely done.
Thank you so much. Congratulations, Patricia, once again. And thank you, Dawn, for this excellent point. What name is important, but it's not one of the first things what the jurors may look at. It's not one of the top. So I think that's a good formulation of that. Brian Bailey, The Note. And I want to expand it, but guys, I hope you will go on our website once again and just open the image in a high res on your screen and take a look.
Yeah, because this is so detailed and so meticulously done. And I think a few years ago, I remember seeing one of his works at IAPS, and the figure behind or within the net, such a difficult labor of love to capture that quality. But more than that, more than the realism, the gaze that comes through, the idea of being behind something or covered through, being able to see through. And I love his work, but I think look at the design of this and the spots of light that are there and how the rest of it is just shrouded in very detailed mystery. The note that is there is one of the last things that you see, but it is poignant after. Again, without looking at the title, you would notice that. But first you would be drawn to her face and then to the note and then back up and around. And then you keep going into this wanting to know more. And I think that is just, it's not only beautifully rendered, but the story, it tells a story that you want to keep. It's like reading a book, you want to know every page, you want to keep reading it. So beautiful, beautiful job.
Congratulations, Brian. Thank you, Dawn.
This one also was quite, Vanessa enjoyed this one, as do I, for the sense of light, the landscape, the cliffs, the use of basically complementary color with the purple and the ochre color there, so lovely, or the green and the orange. Linda did a beautiful job getting the rhythm of how those cliffs have been sculpted by the water, the rain, all of it coming down. And I think Vanessa mentioned something about the water. You still feel the tide, so you know that there's more going on here. And there's this sense of movement and time going on, this one burst of sunlight on the cliffs. So capturing this time of just that second of beautiful light before sunset and all of those reflections, and a lovely composition and use of color. Very lovely.
Thank you so much, Dawn. And I love Linda's work. Had a chance to paint with her and Richard, like right below those cliffs, so I can relate to them. And yesterday we unpacked one of your pieces, and it's a smaller piece, for the show, and I just can see the sense of light. So the sense of light, what carry through all your work, is exquisite, and this piece is, in particular, one of the great examples of this mastery. Thank you. And I think we're through.
Oh,
wow.
good.
It went like a moment, and thankful to our sponsors for amazing prizes. Our winners should be getting them already, and we're looking forward to our next show here in Las Vegas. It opens out on June 15th with a little artist preview, and we're going to have opening receptions and awards on June 17th from 6 to 8 p.m. And awards will be presented in person by Sergey Petile, who is to teach workshop right after that on the 18th. And there are other events, so stay tuned with us, what you can learn about them. Thankful to Nevada Art Councils and National Endowment of Arts for supporting this project, and of course our Alpha Voyage Gallery with Jeff Kahne and Private Technology Group for making sure what our artwork shown is in the best light and in the best space possible.
Well, thank you, Dasha, for all the hard work that you do and your team. Very active society, and I think you bring a great gift to the pastel world. So thank you.
Thank you so much. Our catalog for this show, but Dawn beautifully highlighted once again is already on Blurb. If you're not registered on Blurb, that blue mark there will make perfect sense for you. You can save on your first book what you order, but I'm not guaranteed because it's run by Blurb, not by me. So thank you so much. And thank you, Dawn, once again for curating such a beautiful show and for highlighting some works, because sometimes when you submit the exhibition, you have no idea what's happening after that. And this shows all the amount of work consideration of the curators and jurors, what goes into the whole process. And I think critique is very important to grow as an artist. And it's just the highlighting your strong sides, what you can do more. And I learned a lot from this conversation. Thank you, Dawn. I appreciate you.
You're welcome. I hope it was helpful. Take care. I'll talk to you soon.
Thank you.
Okay, bye-bye.
Bye-bye. I do not know how to. I do not know how to push buttons, so okay. I do not know how to stop recording. Okay, right here. Yes.